A common sight across the metro and the country tonight, communities coming together to connect for a national night out. But with the debate over policing heading for the November ballot, Minneapolis is a city divided right now.
That division was on full display tonight as neighborhoods across the city participated in National Night Out. Courtney Godfrey joins us live now with more on that. Courtney?
Yeah, Randy, well, National Night Out started 30 years ago as a way to connect community with their police officers that serve them. But with everything going on in Minneapolis right now, depending on what neighborhood you were in, which event you were at, you could tell it was truly a tale of two cities tonight. Relationship building was happening in the Lynn Bohannon neighborhood of North Minneapolis, with neighbors at this National Night Out event welcoming officers.
I love that we've been able to come together and do this, and I love that every year that we've done it, we've had the police here.
Now, I want you to know, because this brother said this, glacier gliders can now call him names. They can call him derogatory terms that are reserved for interpersonal dialogue, between in the black sector. Now anyone can call him the C word, a sellout, Uncle Tom, because he doesn't hate the police. Just think about that. And pro-blacks will stand by and watch it and won't get outraged, nothing. They'll just be like, hey, no lies detected. That's their new thing with the liberals. No lies detected. I mean, he is telling the truth, though.
With neighbors at this National Night Out event welcoming officers.
I love that we've been able to come together and do this, and I love that every year that we've done it, we've had the police here.
But Minneapolis National Night Out coordinator Luther Kruger told the Minnesota Reformer today that only 134 of the roughly 1,400 registered events said they wanted an officer there. That's less than 10%.
We deserve better. We deserve better than neglect at best and abuse at worst.
Now, who thinks that this woman would last 10 seconds in the Sun Belt, in the stand, without the presence or the specter of police? Let's just say police are eliminated. They ain't coming. Don't call them. They ain't gonna be there. The thugs know the police ain't coming. They know the police ain't calling. Nobody can call the police. And she comes moseying down MLK Boulevard or Malcolm X Avenue. How long does she last? Huh? What are the odds? 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds or more than 10 seconds? Who thinks she'll last more than 10 seconds? And I ain't even talking about the dudes. I'm talking about the girls. She thinks she cute. Or she got good hair. This woman's nuts.
We deserve better. We deserve better than neglect at best and abuse at worst.
The people behind the Yes for Minneapolis campaign, a ballot measure that would eliminate a minimum officer requirement and replace the police department with something new, held their own event today.
That we must remember that safety exists beyond policing.
Oh. And this brother wouldn't last 10 seconds either. Have you seen the gun memorial? 70% of the people on the gun memorial are from his demographic, his age, race, and sex. Now you remove the police completely. And he come around Come on, brother, we're brothers. Get that gun out of my face, brother. I'm your brother.
That we must remember that safety exists beyond policing.
But Rob King, for example, says he won't be getting behind that movement.
There's been 3 or 4 times we've had shootouts right in front of our house. My bedroom window is right there.
This is a man with children. He said 3 or 4 times there've been shootouts. And when he says that, he's talking about since all this stuff. He's not talking about like in the 30, 40 years he's been... No, he's talking about just recently. How much you want to bet that little miss, we deserve better, if she had a shootout, one shootout in front of her house, she would change her tune. But the people who make the decisions for the Sun Belt, for the Blackistanian community, most times don't live there. They're people like this who won't face the consequences of having no police. Like, she can't even understand what she's saying. She's like a child. We just want all the police to... Do you understand? Like, you're a woman. Do you know the way the world works? Whenever I see women against this stuff, it just makes me like, this is a great country to where women really have forgotten why they can go for a night jog. Why they can stagger to their car drunk at night after the club. They've really forgotten this. What a great country we live in.
There's been 3 or 4 times we've had shootouts right in front of our house. My bedroom window is right there.
He and several neighbors say they'll vote no on the ballot measure and instead focus on relationship and reform.
We need police. We need good police. We need the bad police gone, but we need police.
Recent polling shows that division among the city because only about 44% say they support doing away with the Minneapolis Police Department.
That's a huge number, by the way. For 44% of the people in your city, a violent city, a city where the police last year were telling people, look, when the thugs come to try to rob you, just give them the stuff. Don't fight with them. They issued a statement to the public because there were so many robberies. A city where kids are routinely caught in crossfire. Routinely. Like it's nothing. It's not even outrage anymore. For 44% of the people in that city to get rid of police altogether, and there hasn't been a second George Floyd. It's not like there have been 10 George Floyds or 7 George Floyds. There was not a George Floyd before George Floyd, and there hasn't been a George Floyd since George Floyd. It was just that one incident. Now, I'm not saying there haven't been other things that have gone left with the cops and whatnot, but that they made it seem like that was a common thing for someone to have their knee for that procedure. And we haven't had one in the entire country. And everybody has a camera. Everyone has a state-of-the-art camera in their pocket or their purse. And we haven't seen one more video like that in the entire country.
Prominent peace activist plans to leave Minneapolis as gun violence there continues to rise. KG Wilson's announcement comes just months after his own 6-year-old granddaughter was killed by gunfire. Bab Santos spoke with Wilson in a story only on Fox 9.
Today, right here, I'm announcing my retirement. So I am done as an active peace activist in Minneapolis. This is my end right here. So today I say goodbye to Minneapolis.
We did this story. His granddaughter was one of 3 kids caught in crossfire in the course of like a week in Minneapolis. She succumbed to her injuries. I did a video after that talking about this this violence interrupter and this peace intervention on the street. It doesn't work, okay? And it doesn't mean that the guys that are doing it don't have good intentions, because everybody thinks something's going to work. I mean, nobody goes into something thinking that it's not going to work. Now, even if you're deluded or if you're just dead wrong, people still think that their ideas are going to work. It just doesn't. And this brother's good brother, been out there doing this thing for a long time. It doesn't work. These little hoodlums, they don't want your help. They want your money. They want your car. You're coming up there trying to give them a job application. 15 pages of job application. Your work history. These fools can't even remember their social security number. They don't know what they did last week. They so drunk and high. And you coming up trying to get them to enroll in some job training program. Or have some old head come tell him how he used to be the man back in the 80s and how he ran his section of the jail. But yeah, don't be like me, man. Go to school and get a book. And keep your head in the books. Some kid who's never been good at the books. It's not like we act like these little hoodlums on the street were nerds that went astray. These are the kids in the 1st grade that was talking in class and beating your kid up and chasing your kid home from school. And making D's and F's in the 1st grade. This is them now at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We act like it was some nerd that saw a rap video, got turned out, now he's a thug. That happens, but the majority of these kids been bad to the bone from day one. And you coming around with your, come on, brother. That's your brother. We out here killing each other, man. They ain't trying to hear it. And this brother agrees wholeheartedly to the point where he's retiring and he's leaving the city.
Today, right here, I'm announcing my retirement. So I am done as an active peace activist in Minneapolis. This is my end right here. So today I say goodbye to Minneapolis.
For nearly 2 decades, KG Wilson has been a difference maker in Minneapolis.
I gave my life. I put my life on the line to save others' life or to be there for countless numbers of families.
Working to keep kids out of gangs and guns off the street.
They're getting bolder. Why are they so desperate to kill? Why are our youth killing each other?
But this May, the gun violence struck home when Anaya Allen was killed by a stray bullet.
And all I feel like I got in return is a murdered 6-year-old granddaughter and no arrest. and it's been 2 months later.
His 20 years of being on the streets, and let's be honest, not making a difference at all, but fighting a good fight, scooping water out of the sinking ship's deck with a thimble for 20 years. Fighting a raging forest fire with a super soaker for 20 years. Trying to stay dry in a monsoon with one of those little umbrellas that they put in your drink at the club. For 20 years. So he didn't make a difference, let's be honest. But he tried. And all he got in return, he says, is a dead 6-year-old granddaughter and no arrest 2 months later. So the community that he bled for 20 years, no one could come forward and give the police any information that could lead to arrest. Just think about that. Everybody talk about, I'm from here, I'm from the hood, man. Everybody love me in such and such city, man. I got people down there. This guy, he knows everybody in that city. Okay? The thugs, the gangsters, their single mothers, the crackheads, the junkies, the old heads, the young whippersnappers. And when he needed help, radio silence. All he got in return for 20 years was a dead 6-year-old granddaughter. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Bullet. And all I feel like I got in return is a murdered 6-year-old granddaughter and no arrest. And it's been 2 months later.
Now enough is enough.
Because of I am who I am, I'm still who I am, I'm just done here in Minneapolis. I don't want to work here. I don't want to be here.
But before leaving town, Wilson may have saved his best for last.
I saved him. I held him and kept him from jumping off the bridge.
Minneapolis police confirm a suicidal man was seen running on the Hennepin Avenue Bridge early Sunday morning after leaving a suicide note.
All I knew was he wasn't going to do this in my face. He wasn't going to kill himself in my face.
KG says he chanced upon the man while on an evening walk and has these scars to show for it.
And I grabbed him and I held him. And I just started talking to him and I said, I can't let you do it. And he was like, man, I got to let me go. You don't know what happened. I said, I don't care what happened.
Good brother, man. Good brother, man. Shame that 20 years mediating beefs and advocating for people, showing up for people, doing press conferences with families, giving people money, paying people's bills, keeping people's lights on, finding people jobs. All he got out of it was a dead 6-year-old granddaughter and no arrest 2 months later. His words, not mine.
For 18 years, Wilson worked to make Minneapolis safe. But this story really begins 19 years ago.
That 19 years ago, I was on that same bridge, wanting to jump off that bridge. Almost in the same spot down there where I saved him from.
Bab Santos, Fox 9.